It's an amazing case. It's an unfortunate case. James O'Keefe, one of the nation's leading undercover journalists, had been saddled with a TRO, temporary restraining order, for, of all things, stalking. And part of the stalking order said that he could not possess firearms and he couldn't ask certain questions, couldn't do investigative journalism about Mr. Tiramond. So we had brought both of these points to the court's attention, and to the court's credit, they took time reading through the firearms law in Florida, and Florida law is very clear. You have to have a showing of actual threat of violence or someone engaged in violent conduct that's in a real emergency level to be able to take away their Second Amendment rights. And of course, the Supreme Court in the Rahimi case has said the same thing. You have to follow that sort of procedure if you're going to deprive someone of their firearms. So to the court's credit, they realized that today, and they removed the firearms prohibition, so James is free to have his firearms. But last night we had to walk through the process with him. We had our Florida counsel there as an intermediary with the police, and they took his 3 guns. James will be in the process of getting those back today. But we've got a larger fight right ahead of us on Monday. We're filing an emergency appeal, emergency stay on the speech prohibition. Happy to chat about that too.
Yeah, I think it would be quite something if the way our law developed was that if you didn't like that reporters were looking into you and looking into your life, you could just file restraining orders against them. What do you think that would do to the First Amendment?
And that's not a free society, is it? It's a weird theory that Tiramond has behind a stalking injunction, because he's borrowing from the progressive far left that says that speech causes harm if you use offensive language, if you don't say the right things, that you cause harm, and so we can regulate or punish that speech. You don't do that in a free society, and we have consistently pushed back on those sort of motives in the federal courts, state courts, and we win all the time. So he's borrowing a tactic from the far left. And no, this would be it would be a kill switch for all sorts of journalism. Lots of journalism is uncomfortable. The First Amendment isn't designed to make those you report about comfortable. It doesn't protect comfortable, static, boring situations. It's there to protect America in the hardest times. And think about one of the most classic watershed moments in American history, the Pentagon Papers case, where the New York Times had information about the Vietnam War. It wasn't flattering. It gave information about national security, how prepared we were for war. And even in that, where the government interest is extremely high, the Supreme Court didn't have a problem saying, no way. And so in my briefing, I cited cases across the country.
Well, violence is different, Ben. You and I both know that violence is different. Whether I don't like Florida's red flag law, but that, as you pointed out, that law requires an allegation that there's violence, an act of violence, threat of violence. Was there ever an allegation like that against James O'Keefe? I have to say, I've known your client for many years. He's not a violent person. Did they allege he had done anything to strike anyone, assault anyone, batter anyone in these legal proceedings?
Not a single allegation in a 74-page complaint that was filed by Mr. Tiramond, and it's irritating. You point that out to the judge. The initial judge didn't take time to do her job to find those particularized findings. So finally, the second judge that we had did her job. Unfortunately, it meant the temporary surrender of Mr. O'Keefe's firearms, but she did her job. She reversed that, and we're in the process of getting that back. But boy, you think about leaving this loophole open, like you mentioned, for if anyone feels slighted or embarrassed, or what Tiramond said is he felt turmoil in his life. And that was the basis for why we needed to have
Be still my heart.
stalking.
Let us break out a violin and play it. Everyone should be free of turmoil. No, I mean, give me a break.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.